And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hello, I'm meteorologist David Kramer with Alaska Weather. Thanks for tuning in for our public segment today. Starting off with a look at our fire weather update for Monday, August 4th. Slight troughing from the Arctic will drop temperatures across the North Slope and puts the brakes on the warming trend in the interior. Fine fuels across the interior will be dry enough to be a concern for fire behavior. The Yukon Flats continues to have the driest Duff fuels. Widely scattered thunderstorms are expected in the central interior and elevated terrain near Fairbanks. And then for our outlook, temperatures in the interior warm back up again Wednesday and Thursday. More seasonable weather which should start on Friday. Taking a look at our fire danger again for Monday, August 4th. You can see that some of the areas down in southwest Alaska are at medium. However, along the North Slope, our areas have dropped back down to low for our spruce adjective. But in the northern interior, continuing to see high and very high fire danger coming up for us on Monday. Moving forward, we'll take a look at some of our satellite imagery. We'll start off in the Bering Sea, where we have a low that's been pretty stationary here, bringing in a lot of cloud cover to areas around the Bering Sea, including the Pribilof Islands, as well as through the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula. Taking a look back towards mainland Alaska and down in the Panhandle area, we have some colder air coming in from the north, bringing in some cloud cover and precipitation to the North Slope area, as well as a low pressure system bringing in some rain showers to the Panhandle area. Then as we look out for tonight, we do have some of those rain showers starting to clear up. We can see some ridging building in throughout the eastern portions of the Gulf of Alaska, really clearing out areas around south central. Some lingering showers in portions of the southern interior. And as we get up into the Brooks Range and farther to the north, going to see some rain. That's from that really cold air coming in from the north. As we drop down into the Bering Sea, still seeing our pretty stationary low here, bringing in some rain for the Pribilof Islands, pushing out towards the eastern Bering area, approaching the southwest coastline. Then we're also going to have some rain for the Aleutians and for the Alaska Peninsula. As we move into Monday, continuing to see our low stay in place here, bringing more rain for the Pribilofs, the Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, and starting to bring more of that rain into southwest Alaska. Out over the Gulf waters, we do have high pressure continuing to be the main factor here, primarily keeping areas around south central fairly dry, but some of the higher elevations still going to see some of those showers. As we move up into the interior, rain is going to spread throughout the interior here on Monday and up into the Brooks Range. Still going to see some rain from our cold front up to the north. And then down in the Panhandle area, going to see more widespread rain here on Monday. On Tuesday, going to still see some of those rain showers lingering through much of the area for the Panhandle, heavier down to the areas to the south. High pressure really building in over the Gulf now on Tuesday, clearing out much of south central, but still going to see some showers farther to the north, starting with the Alaska Range through the interior and into the Brooks Range, with some isolated showers up along the Arctic coast. Finally, our low out over the Bering Sea will start to drift to the south as it gets absorbed by this stronger low coming up from the North Pacific, headed towards the eastern Aleutian Islands, bringing rain throughout the Alaska Peninsula, much of the Aleutians, and to Kodiak Island. Then on Wednesday, that low pushes just to the north of the eastern Aleutians, continuing to bring rain for the central and eastern Aleutians, as well as the Alaska Peninsula, starting out to bring some of that rain and some of those stronger winds up into the southwestern coast area, as well as fully covering Kodiak Island here on Wednesday. As we look out farther to the east, our high pressure system will have pushed off farther to the east into the eastern Gulf, but still extending up into south central, keeping area fairly dry up in south central Alaska. We're going to see some lingering showers out over the eastern interior up into the Brooks Range as well. And then finally, way down here in southeast Alaska, cleared out most of the northern area, but there are still some showers as we get farther to the south. Taking a look now at temperatures for Monday morning in southeast Alaska, dropping down to near 50. Most places staying in the lower 50s. Out in south central Alaska, lower 50s there as well. Colder in the Copper River Basin, with Glen Allen getting down to 38 degrees. Up in the interior in the mid 50s. And then as we get in the Arctic coastline, dropping down into the 30s. Along the west coast of the state, temperatures dropping down to near 50 degrees for the Seward Peninsula, into the mid 50s for southwest Alaska. And then the mid 50s for the Alaska Peninsula, dropping down to near 50 degrees for the Aleutians. High temperatures for Monday afternoon, bouncing back into the lower to mid 50s for the Aleutian Islands, getting up into the 60s for southwest Alaska. up into the 60s for areas around Norton Sound, but on the Kotzebue Sound side of the Seward Peninsula, only getting up into the mid-50s there. Quite a bit warmer in the interior, temperatures getting up into the mid-70s. Then along the Arctic coastline, temperatures getting up primarily into the mid-40s. Down in south central Alaska into the 60s, more interior locations into the 70s. And then down in the Panhandle area, temperatures getting up into the lower to mid-60s. Dropping down Tuesday morning for the Panhandle area, dropping down into the lower 50s, mid-50s as we get farther to the south, a little bit warmer there. Dropping down into the 50s for south central Alaska as well, interior locations getting down into the 40s. And the interior staying in the mid-50s for the most part, and along the Arctic coastline still dropping down into the 30s. West Coast is a little bit warmer, staying near 50 in more northern locations, and then as we get by southwest Alaska, dropping down into the mid-50s. Mid-50s for the Alaska Peninsula and near 50 degrees for the Aleutian Islands and Pribilofs. Tuesday afternoon highs staying in the lower 50s here for the Aleutian Islands. For southwest Alaska, getting into the 60s. Getting in the 60s through the Norton Sound area as well, but once again on the Kotzebue Sound side of the Seward Peninsula, staying a little bit cooler there, only getting up into the mid-50s. Mid-40s for the eastern sides of the North Slope, but into the lower 50s for the western locations. For the interior, into the mid-70s, especially in the central and western locations, a little bit cooler, some of those rain showers out over the eastern portion of the interior. Mid-60s expected for south central, and once again interior locations getting a little bit warmer, going to get up into the 70s there. And then down for the Panhandle area, temperatures expected to get into the lower to mid-60s. With Alaska Weather, I'm David Kramer. Thanks for watching.